Kellyanne Conway, counselor to President Trump and suspected Wheeler from Return to Oz, made headlines this week by claiming that the recent massacre of 8 Jews at the Tree of Life synagogue in Pittsburgh was caused by anti-religiosity against people, particularly on the part of comedians in the United States. Conway said, and I quote, "The late-night comedians, the unfunny people on TV shows, it's always anti-religious. And remember, these people were gunned down in their place of worship." Yeah, that's some piping hot bullshit. Atheists make up about 3% of the American population, compared to about 9% of the American population who identify with neo-Nazi views. That's right, 3 times more people are sympathetic to neo-Nazis than are atheists. That's 22 million people. So yeah, gosh, I don't know, is the problem more likely to be atheists, a very tiny percentage of the population who have nothing in common with one another, except for a complete lack of belief in any God? Or is it more likely to be the 22 million people who are sympathetic to those who think Jews and black people are subhuman? Was the murderer in this instance Robert Bowers, an avowed atheist, or did he quote the Bible in support of his hatred of Jews? Spoiler alert, it's the second one. Obviously, this is yet another clumsy attempt by a shitty administration to distract from their nonstop fear-mongering and dog whistles. But I also find it interesting because it's not new for Christians to latch onto the unique oppression of Jews as a way to garner sympathy and to make themselves appear, well, holier somehow. Consider the idea of the U.S. as having a Judeo-Christian tradition. That's something that is a phrase completely fabricated by Christian evangelicals to make it seem as though their blurring of the line separating church and state isn't just a selfish desire, as though they're somehow going to include the Jewish people in their dream theocracy. Another spoiler alert, they're not going to do that. Of course, many of them do love Israel, but only insofar as they believe that supporting Israel will hasten the end times. They don't actually care about Jews as people, and that shows in the virulently Christian KKK and neo-Nazi movement. So no, Kellyanne, it isn't atheists making fun of all religions on late-night television that leads to the mass murder of Jews, women, black people. These are racist, misogynist, bigoted conspiracy theorists like your president. In fact, a recent study shows that the people most likely to believe fake news and conspiracy theories that lead to this kind of violence are in fact dogmatic religious people. Researchers at Yale found that people who scored higher on dogmatism and religious fundamentalism were much less likely to be able to recognize fake news when they saw it. These people were less likely to be open-minded when it comes to potentially changing their minds based on the evidence in front of them. Skepticism is an important tool, but it's one that you have to constantly apply to even your most cherished beliefs, or else it's absolutely useless. And sure enough, dogmatic fundamentalists don't do that. And that leads to sharing dangerous and bigoted conspiracy theories, and that leads to events like the massacre in Pittsburgh, not making fun of religious beliefs. Here's me, an atheist who makes fun of Kellyanne Conway and other supposedly religious hypocrites, saying that we should not be gunning down innocent Jewish congregations. We should be voting pieces of bigoted, closed-minded, anti-skeptical trash like Donald Trump and his cronies out of office in a few weeks. Please go vote in November.